Well, hey, it's Thursday. It's Shawn and Ashlee. We're here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling, breaking down AEW Full Gear 2024. Ashlee, as we left the show on Sunday, we were thinking about doing the preview then. We're waiting for another match to be added. Tony didn't add a match tonight on Dynamite. We still have 9 matches going into the weekend.
As of now, we still have Friday, but a little surprised we didn't add another one on here tonight.
I was surprised, but how do you feel about the AEW Dynamite Go Home show? It was kind of weird to me.
Yeah, some really good stuff and some sort of weird stuff and some stuff that I'm interested to see where it goes, but I'm not exactly sure what we started here tonight.
You know, the one thing we were missing was Xavier. One thing we were missing was Excalibur running down the card before they went off the air at 10 o'clock Eastern. I was waiting for that to happen, and it didn't happen. We had the main event. Whether you'd lost to Orange Cassidy, but Jon Moxley and his crew comes down and beats the tar out of Orange, and nobody from the back comes down because they're all respecting Orange's decision to do it by himself.
Yeah, not a wise decision here.
I mean, the congregation, like, an hour before that, was trying to get to him and talk to him sensitive. His head going like, dude, Moxley said there's 5 of them, 1 to him. Why don't you bring us down with you?
Yep, that's wise right there. Like, I understand what they're doing, but I hate that we've talked about the dumb babyface tropes before, and this is like a willfully stupid babyface move.
This is the poster child for dumb babyface. I'm sorry. This is the poster child for dumb babyface.
Yeah. I can't wait for this match, though, honestly, because Moxley is so good at helping build this, and it's so good to see somebody like Orange Cassidy, who's been such a workhorse over the past few years, get a shot like this.
Very true. We'll be previewing that match later on in the show, but we do have one 0-hour match that we can talk about for a second. As we saw on this episode of Dynamite last night, Big Boom AJ is going to face QT Marshall at 0-hour. You know, you're doing this for the social media likes and the social media buzz. And hey, you know what? QT Marshall can take a loss. It won't hurt him. Let's have AJ win this match.
Yeah, I figure that's what's the plan here. Interesting, very strange how this all came about. But very cool, I guess, see like a kid with a lot of social media reach be very excited about AEW to the point where he's out promoting it on the likes of like Jimmy Fallon and such.
It should be an interesting opening match for 0-hour, and who knows, by the time we get to 0-hour, there might be 3 more matches added to the 0-hour.
This is very true.
So I feel like we should go to maybe MJF versus Roderick Strong first, because we saw a promo in the ring where Adam Cole, baby, was topping up his buddy Roderick Strong. As unfortunately for Adam Cole, he did not win 3 matches in a row, so he won't be facing MJF at Full Gear, but Roddy did. And out of nowhere, it's Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly comes down and cuts a promo with Adam Cole and explaining that Adam Cole is a nice guy and he's not MJF, and MJF is just naturally the worst person on the planet. Actually, my question to you is Kyle O'Reilly going to turn on Roderick Strong and Adam Cole on the weekend?
I feel like we have some sort of double cross brewing here with one of them. I truly wish Kyle O'Reilly had stopped to the ring to talk to him about that spray tan.
You know, it just happens sometimes. You know, you stay in there 5 minutes too long and voila.
It's been awful the past few weeks, like noticeably so. But I'm pretty excited for this match, and I liked the 2 promo segments we got from MJF and Roddy tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah, they were excellent. It gives you a nice lead into this match coming up here on Saturday night. I kind of want to pick Strong to win here, but with this addition of Kyle O'Reilly into the picture, I think MJF has one more card up his sleeve and he's going to get the victory.
I also feel like there's something to Kyle O'Reilly calling Adam Cole such a nice guy and kind of doting on that point a bit. I feel like we might see a not so nice side of Adam Cole coming out soon.
That could be a possibility. We could actually, the swerve being that Adam Cole is still buddy with MJF. Could that be the swerve we're not seeing?
I don't know. I feel like they have to do. I feel like at least they feel like they have to do something big because the storyline got so messed up with the injuries and stuff last year, and how everything the crowd sort of naturally turned Adam Cole babyface after the whole thing because they just missed him.
I just feel like MJF and Adam Cole need to be about 360 degrees away from each other. And I was hoping we could have this match. We have a blow off, one of them wins, and we move on to two different stories with these guys.
Yeah, I feel like we need to find some solid ground for the Undisputed Kingdom if you're going to keep them as a unit, because the whiplash from their heel to babyface turn for this was also a little jarring.
A little jarring. It feels like the Big Show. I feel like they went out here, copied Big Show's face heel turn and just inserted the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, and it still doesn't feel like very prompted, so they got to do something to flesh it out a little more if they're going to stay this way, you know?
So who are you taking? Are you taking the Messiah of the Backbreaker? Are you taking the Salt of the Earth, MJF?
I think I'm going to take MJF. I think his just dastardliness is going to pull out, but I want Roddy to win, especially after the promo tonight.
So let's move on to another match on this card, and I'm going to our boy Jay White versus your boy Hangman Adam Page in a match where you got to yet again pick somebody. How are you going to do this? I don't know. Personally, I'm rolling with Jay White. I feel like Jay White is on this run to being a babyface, and he needs to get a solid victory here and a victory over Hangman Adam Page in this crazy state that Hangman Adam Page is right now. Perfect opportunity to give him the win, and it doesn't hurt Hangman Adam Page.
I don't think it would hurt him, but I'm going to take Hangman. I think even with all the violence, I think we might see something from Hangman we haven't seen before.
Going into the weekend, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most because I feel like these two guys are going to go out here and try to steal the show.
Yeah, especially after their match at Wrestle Dream. I'm very much looking forward to this rematch.
So let's move on to our first title match that we're going to talk about. We'll go to the 4-way for the AEW Tag Team titles as we have the Private Party versus the Kings of the Black Throne versus the Acclaim versus the Outrunners. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going with the Kings of the Black Throne. I got a feeling Julia Hart's going to make an appearance and she's going to lead her team to victory.
That would be insane. I definitely, if anybody else was going to win, I would want it to be House of Black because we've talked about the need for House of Black to get some big wins. I don't know. I think you got to keep Private Party. We just put the belts on him and had a big moment for him. I don't see them losing just quite yet.
Fair point, Ashley. I do believe that Private Party is actually going to be the ones that win this match, if you look at this common sense wise. And I got a feeling that the Acclaim are going to be the team that takes the pin here. I think the Acclaim's only reason in this match is to take the pin.
Very much so. They've been drifting further and further apart each week here.
And it offers you a perfect opportunity to split the two guys apart. They take the pin, everybody leaves the ring, and we see Max Caster turn on Anthony and maybe join the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, I think it might serve them both pretty well to see what they can do outside of the Acclaimed for right now. I feel like I know it still can get over when they want to, but I feel like they've been teasing Max Caster turning heel for what feels like months now.
Well, I feel like the Acclaim has made the long run they can do as a tag team right now. The only thing left to do is to break them up. So down the road, maybe 2 years or so later, you can put them back together. But right now,
Yeah,
they've done everything they can do as a tag team. The crowd has finally kind of died down on their reactions to the Acclaim. I mean, they still get the pop for the rap. They still get the pop for having Billy Gunn out there. But it's not like how it was 1 year ago, where this team was the hottest team in the company.
for sure. A cooling off period, and like I said, maybe a chance to see what they can do on their own might do them some good.
Well, let's go on to another title match we can talk about here. We'll go to the TNT title match, Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. And after we saw Collision on Saturday, where I guess Garcia decided to take the escape bus for a little spin, and apparently they decided to tie Jack Perry on top of it for fun to seize.
I'm so divided about this match. Like, I feel like Jack Perry is going to win, but I so want Daniel Garcia to win.
See, I know that you and Kimmy Soko both want to see Daniel Garcia have his day in the sun and win this TNT title. But me personally, I feel like Jack Perry has become the most important TNT champion of all time. And I feel like we're not done with this run yet. And I hate to say it, I'm taking Jack Perry to retain here.
I'm just gonna pick with my heart. I'm picking Daniel. I want it so bad. I feel like you're absolutely right though. I don't feel like they're done with whatever they're doing with Jack Perry here. And I'm very interested because I feel like somehow Jack Perry's got the attitude that Jon Moxley is like sort of looking for. And without the elite being around, I'm wondering if maybe we have some sort of run in here.
Like the Death Riders might be out recruiting and they might just go, yeah, Jack Perry seems like somebody we can roll with. Let's just give him a helping hand and see if he wants to join, to the saying. Maybe they decide to get tired of Yuta and they want to kick Yuta out.
I was honestly thinking I would love to see them bring Perry in and he outshines Yuta, and Yuta is already like not 100% sure about this. Like he's only sure because Moxley is sure right now. Like we know that he has those doubts. We've seen it on his face and in his actions. So I'm curious to see. I feel like it's a weird spot that Jack Perry is in right now with the Young Bucks taking time off and Kazuchika Okada being out until the C2 starts up. So
He's just kind of left there on his own, all by himself, and he has no support. So we'll see what happens Saturday night. Let's go on to another title match. We'll go to the TBS title match as Mercedes Moné is the champion, and she'll be facing Chris Statlander. And every time I have seen Mercedes Moné and Camille in the last 2 weeks, I'm just waiting for the moment where Camille goes like, I had enough of this, and this Mercedes Moné is going to eat a clothesline.
yeah. She's very good at being the heel that gets beat up at the last moment. I love her sending in Camille with heels and in a sling and telling her to take on both Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander.
And oh, by the way, on the way up to the ring steps, she slaps the bad shoulder for, hey, go get him, champ. You're fine.
Yeah, I like this. And I feel like, I don't know whether we're dissolving this as quickly as it seems already. Like, it feels like we just paired them up, and if Camille's not sick of her after this, I don't know what it's going to take.
I know, because I mean, like, this should have been like the final straw. This should have been the straw where she goes like, forget you. Let me just hit my finisher on you. And hey, Chris Statlander, here you go. Have fun.
Yeah. I don't know why she wouldn't help. I still don't see Mercedes losing this match. I see her hanging on to this title for a long period of time, and I wouldn't be opposed to Chris Statlander winning, but I feel like she needs a kind of like a better trajectory towards the title. We saw how quick her heel to babyface turn went, similar to the Undisputed Kingdom. There's some whiplash from being a heel to all of a sudden being a babyface. I think she needs a little more adversity. You know, we like to see the babyface chased a little more sometimes, so I would like to see her have to be in the chase for this a little more.
I can agree with that, Ashley. And I get a feeling that we're gonna explore this storyline with Mercedes Moné and Camille just a little bit longer, and having Mercedes Moné as your TBS champion, and just basically using Camille like a servant and just ordering her around every which way possible until Camille has enough and she finally breaks and snaps, and she's the one who defeats Mercedes Moné for this TBS championship.
Yeah, Mercedes better be careful because Camila is a lot bigger than her.
Oh, hey, Mercedes Moné, if you're watching this, just go Google Camille and just watch her matches. You're gonna be outclassed.
Right, when she has two arms. You know?
I mean, there's a reason why they called her the one-time champ. I'm just saying. So let's go on to another match. Let's go on to the blood feud. We're gonna go to former teammates turn enemies out as we have the protostar Kyle Fletcher versus Will freaking Ospreay. And I gotta say, Ospreay is probably a little annoyed that he was the one who cost his team the victory last night on Dynamite. And he'll be looking for a little payback coming this weekend.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones I'm definitely looking forward to the most on this card. I feel like Ospreay and Fletcher have done an outstanding job building this match up. Their promos have been really good. I feel like I see what AEW is seeing in Kyle Fletcher and what they want to push in him in the future.
So I'm gonna take Kyle Fletcher for the victory here. As a few weeks ago we were talking about Grand Slam Australia and how we were thinking that this would be the main event of that card in Australia in a few months. We got to stretch this story out for a while, and I feel like giving Fletcher the first victory in this feud is a good way to go, and it'll give him something to brag about through the month of December as we're going through Dynamite and Collision episodes.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that's the way it's going to go too. I feel like we'll get some Don Callis family shenanigans here, whether it's Archer or Cage or even Takeshita. I'm hoping Takeshita.
Oh,
Comes in and, just either distracts or gets involved somehow. But I do see Fletcher winning. And I'm pretty excited to see where this goes from here because I'm loving this side of Ospreay.
he's kind of turning back into the kingpin, Will Ospreay, the Ospreay who kind of flirted with more of being the heel, not really the baby face. He's getting back to a more psychotic kind of Will Ospreay.
Yeah, the stuff with like Jon Moxley's kind of talking about the overall craziness of AEW, and we're kind of seeing it in a lot of these feuds.
Well, let's move on to the second to last match that we have to talk about. As we did see Swerve Strickland get some one-upmanship on the Hurt Syndicate, and I gotta say, I would not want to be the person to piss off Bobby Lashley, but apparently Strickland has done it, and oh my word, on Dynamite, we saw Cheeseburger for like 30 seconds.
I know it feels like it's been forever since we've seen him in any capacity, and under a Tony Khan owned company. Yeah, it was very cool to see him, and Swerve Strickland not allowing Bobby Lashley to enjoy that victory for very long.
Nope. And I gotta say, this should be a very interesting match. And like a lot of these feuds, it's the first in a series of matches we think are coming down the road. So I'm going with the Hurt Syndicate. There's no way on the planet that MVP's going to let Bobby Lashley lose his first match of first one.
No, I agree. I feel like it's kind of the obvious way to go. And whether we have some shenanigans or maybe we have the whoever's going to join Hurt Syndicate next join up and cause swerve here, I'll be interested to see.
It's going to be interesting to see the match order for Full Gear and see how this plays out. Do you have the 4-way tag team match before this match? Then this is where Matt Caster throws his die with the Hurt Syndicate, and this is where he becomes the fourth member of the group, and he's the one who helps. And Anthony comes down to goes like, "What are you doing?" And this is where we get the heel turn and the split up of the Acclaim.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised to see more than one person join the Hurt Syndicate with as many cards as MVP has handed out.
I know, and still, I do not have one of those cards. I'm like, "Where's my card?"
He is he's trying to recruit the entire roster.
I know, and I'm going like, MVP, come on, don't you understand? The more people you have, the less the paycheck is. You got to cut everybody in for a cut of the Hurt Syndicate business. Like, let's think about this for a second.
The way they're going after Swerve, their Hangman's favorite faction in AEW.
Who knows? You can have Hangman come out and cost certainly this match, and that would be perfectly justified because Hangman still has unfinished business with Swerve Strickland.
Always.
Well, we're down to I think will be the main event of the show. We're talking about Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Title. And as we saw on Dynamite last night, Cassidy got his victory over Yuta, but it was short-lived because the Death Riders come down. They beat the crap out of Orange Cassidy. And I feel like this is to give Orange a excuse for the loss here, as I don't think we're taking the title off of Moxley just yet, because we are just starting the ride with the Death Riders as he reshapes AEW into his image.
Yeah, I agree. This strategy that Orange Cassidy has employed of telling all of his friends to stay backstage while Moxley has 4 other people surrounding him is not working out for him.
So apparently the congregation doesn't understand how number advantage works. They don't read the handbook, and they follow orders from their captain without question.
Yeah, that's what they don't seem to have any objections to what's going on.
So I feel like we're going to have a very strong main event here. I feel like Orange Cassidy will show out, and Moxley will give him a lot in this match. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a Death Rider. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, and maybe they'll leave Orange Cassidy like they left Daniel Bryan at Wrestle Dream, and just leave him in a heap in the middle of the ring. And for 2 pay-per-views in a row, the heels leave, and the fans are not happy.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna get some violence at the end of this one. Curious to see if maybe Darby does some sort of run-in, because I don't know how much Darby would consider himself friends with Orange Cassidy as much as the conglomeration would.
Well, I got a feeling that Darby Allin's going to be our challenger for Jon Moxley at World's End, and I do think I feel like maybe Darby Allin comes down here and makes the save for Orange after he gets his butt kicked by Moxley and the Death Riders, and that's how we spin this off into December, and we head towards World End with Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley to close out the year for AEW.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that's the way they're headed for sure. I don't know who else you would pair Moxley with for the next pay-per-view aside from Darby after all this. But I agree. I feel like Jon Moxley is the obvious pick here. Sad to pick against my boy Orange, though.
Well, eventually you have to pick against somebody that you like, because you apparently like a lot of people on this pay-per-view, and you had a few ones where you had to flip a coin. So we'll just see how all this plays out as we watch Full Gear this weekend. And special note, Radio Free Professional Wrestling will come out on a Monday, since we're going to wait to see how Full Gear plays out, and we're going to review it for you guys Monday morning. So, Ashlee, any final words before we head off to the weekend and watch some freaking professional wrestling?
Just looking forward to what should be a really good show this weekend.
Well, this has been your Radio Free Professional Wrestling AEW Full Gear preview here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling. Of course, you can follow the show on Twitter at Radio Free PW. You can visit our website at www.radiofreeprowrestling.com. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, tell a friend about it. And Ashlee, where can we find you on the super information super highway?
So I've mostly made the move to Blue Sky, and that's at groovyash.bsky.social, but I am still posting on Twitter at groovy_ash_.
And for all you Blue Sky people, you can follow Radio Free Professional Wrestling at RFPW Show. Check it out. And until we see you Monday for Radio Free Professional Wrestling, have a stunning weekend. Remember, this is our groovy, stunning era. Guns freaking up.